It's like whiplash.
Crazy.
Like, where are we today?
Crazy. Okay, it was his Bloody Tuesday, so my voice is gone again. So, oh man, physical. They had a day off. They're running around, so it's really physical. A lot of competition, ones on ones, ones on twos, stuff like that. So, sets the tone for the whole week. Because everything is about practice. So it's a physical day.
Speaking about being physical, how big is that going to be for you guys going up against what Michigan has up front?
Yeah, the crazy thing is that's what we do. Period, regardless of opponent. We want to set a standard of how we play, how physical we are, regardless of who shows up, right? And I think if we hold ourselves to that standard, then it'll take care of itself. The game will take care of itself. So right now we're concentrated on us right now. Yep.
Most important thing or two to stopping the run, being good at stopping the run?
I think it takes a concentrated effort. The one really cool thing about the guys in the locker room is that you see it from all levels. You saw the hit that Deshaun put on when he ran down on the run. There was no fear there. You saw they threw a screen out there to a really, really talented player, that's number 6, and Malcolm saw the ball and he jumped it right now and tackled it for maybe for a tackle for a loss, or no gain. So it's coming from all the levels, from everybody, which you got to do that, right? You play a great run defense. You got to have everybody buy in, and the guys have done a nice job.
How do you coach that fearlessness, or is that something that's innate?
That's something that comes with the process, right? They got to feel confident. They got to feel big and strong. They got to feel like they know what to do. They got to feel like they know how to do it. And then you got to practice those techniques, the dominant contact, the RDV, and then when they get a chance to do it, you praise like that's what it's supposed to feel like. And then when they don't do it right, you correct it. And then the more and more reinforcement they get, that kind of becomes them. So it's something that's continuing to show up. Guys are playing faster. They're understanding their assignments. So they're like the one on Deshaun. If you go back and watch it, he hits it on the fly. He's at about 7, 8, 9 yards when he starts to run and starts to see it. You know what I mean? And from the time he saw it, there was zero hesitation, because if he had hesitated one bit, that receiver was coming to crack him. He would have got cracked. But he just saw the ball and he attacked the ball and he was able to make a play. So.
If I would have told you guys would be leading the nation in run defense 4 games in, would you have believed me? And how much can you guys hang your hat on that number, just in what you're trying to build here right now?
Yeah, like I've been, previous experiences have been like that before, and then ended up not like that. So everything is about we'll jump around and have parties and stuff at the end of the year when all the games are over. We'll look at all that stuff. But right now, you have a talented opponent coming in, and the willingness to practice today was good. The guys want to run around. It wasn't clean, but the guys want to run around. They want to be physical. So that was the most important part. And if we just continue to do that week in and week out, I think after the end of the season, you ask anybody that, I think we'll be up here doing cartwheels and somersaults and stuff. As much as we can do, you know what I mean? So.
How much
Deshaun, what's your evaluation of just him and Omar in a first year together working in that safety combination, and how that's looked so far?
Yeah, they made plays, both of them. Both of them have flashed like what they can do. Both of them made plays. Both of them, they'd be the first ones to tell you that there's plays that they left out on the grass, So I think it's the constant quest to try to perfect the game, you know what I mean? Like, by no means are they satisfied. Nobody's patting them on the back right now. You know what I mean? Like, we got some really good football teams that we got to play. So, but they have done it to where they know what it feels like to make they know what it feels like to put themselves in positions to make really, really spectacular plays. Now, coaches got to keep on teaching things the right way, refining things the right way, making sure it's simple enough to where those guys can play like that.
Corum, just how tough does he make things?
Yeah, he's a good back. Both of them, right? They're kind of on the opposite ends of the spectrum. Both of them have really good balance. Corum, he's very patient, and he's just one of those, you could tell he knows what's happening, because he sits back there and he's waiting, and all of a sudden he starts to go someplace that you don't see a hole at first, and then you blink, and then there it is, and he's shooting out of there, So he's an exceptional back, but number 7, he's he's a big old back that can pound it too. You know, I was watching the Penn State game from last year, Coach said, and I think he had 160 some yards rushing on him. You know, they had 400 yards rushing last year against him. So there's some really good backs.
You're a West Coast guy for much of your career. I don't know if you ever ran into Harbaugh. What's your impression of him and the offense, the way that they run their team?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they're an NFL. You know, he's got an NFL approach. He's blue collar, physical, tough. I mean, you see elements in that in everything, special teams, offense, defense. You see that in the recruiting. You see that everywhere. And so, it's a program. You know, it's a winning program.
Is the spectrum of things that they will do on offense broader than some of the teams you'll face?
They present some challenges. I mean, they get into different personnels. They shift trade in motion. Their snap counts. They vary their snap counts all the time. You know, they find every advantage and they use every advantage. You know, which is again really good football to defend. We're gonna have to know what we got to do and don't let all that stuff. You know, don't let all that window dressing and stuff take us away from our keys and our eyes and let us go play fast and aggressive. You know.
When you've been a part of defenses that took a step up in getting turnovers, what kind of things have you seen that have taken them over that hump to be able to do?
I think it's just a confidence deal, and again, I don't know how many times in the game this last one where you're literally like a foot away from the ball being yours. You know, Omar rips the ball out there on the sideline, and he rips it out just probably a yard too far, and it goes out of bounds. Right, Phelan, he's running down there, and he just runs on the special. He just punches the ball, and the ball rolls out of there. Got some other clips where Ty Robinson is retracing on the quarterback, and the quarterback is falling down, and you see Ty going to punch the ball, and he just falls right there. Otherwise, he's going to get a good shot on the ball. So it's just the continual buildup of the faith. Like, hey, it's going to come. We got to just keep on working it, and then once it happens, I think guys, once it catches, it's like anything, right? It's like wildfire. Guys start believing, they see it, and then they start doing it more.
How do you manage the situation with Luke Reimer this week, and how important would it be to have him in a game like this?
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's one of the better linebackers in the Big Ten. You know, so that's just the docs, how he's feeling. You know, Coach Rule, everybody, the whole entire deal. Because the last thing you want to do is not care about his safety first. You know, so it is all on what he can do, how he's feeling, and you know, we'll see and go from there.
With how multiple you guys are on defense, how important is team chemistry, and how have you seen that grow this year?
Oh yeah, well, I mean that's 100%. Because again, you're not doing the things you're doing unless all 11 plus the guys going in. So all whatever it is, 36 guys or whatever, they don't have some form of communication. They don't have some form of trust with the guy next to them. You know what I mean? So it's. But that started back when we got here. All the fall things, all the groups, all of the leadership building, all of the guys dapping each other up. You know, I think what you don't see in Coach Rule is he's always doing things like that. You know what I mean? Like that's the really cool thing from a coach's perspective is when you're around a guy like that, understanding why. I mean, you see like, hey, how come we'll stop? He's like, hey, I don't get out of the staff meetings. I know everybody wants to watch film right now. Go into the players' lounge and sit with those guys and have conversations with them, talk to them, be around them. You know, pizza and wing night last night, like be around them. You know what I mean? I don't care about the film. Go be around those guys. Little things like that all the time, continuously. And again, that just goes back to what you're saying about building that chemistry up so that way it comes out on Saturdays, you know.
How different is the defensive line, the makeup of it? How different is that from when you arrived, and what were some of the priorities in that group ready for the season?
Yeah, again, when I arrived, you just didn't know, right? You had a bunch of guys, different body types. You didn't quite know what to expect or what they can do and stuff. And again, starting from the off-season, Coach Corey and Kristen and getting them all, Mitch and the sports science, all that stuff, getting them ready for the grass. And then T. Knight getting them in and again, Coach Rule over there, you know, he was a D-line coach too, so he's over there giving them tips on pass rush and stance and eyes and all this kind of stuff. T. Knight from his experiences in the NFL, like, I mean, all those things, like the whole community, all those things, you know, setting in. Now you got guys who, you know, some guys are bigger, powerful pass rush. Some guys are more explosive off the edge. Some guys are really good inside twisting and turning. Some guys are more stout going straight ahead, you know, and you got this whole this whole group of guys that have different skill sets, but then when you put them all together and they're having fun creating havoc in there. So it's really cool to see those guys gel, and again, T-Knight, everybody doing a nice job.
Any update on Cam?
Yeah, I mean, he's running around out there. I mean, I thought he was going to be limping around in a jersey, but he was out there running around. Matter of fact, I screamed at him unconsciously because he went inside. He did some inside. He's supposed to go outside or something like that. I'm like, oh, dang, you're out there? I'm like, cool, let's go. So,
What have you seen from Blaze? People talking about how you got, a lot of improvement in the offseason, working with T-Knight, work those guys. He's a guy who didn't really play last year, and now he's one of the most effective pass rushers. Just what have you seen from him?
yeah, I mean, again, he's like Nash, right? He's a guy who has a lot of ability. He just did not have the opportunity or injury, whatever happened. He just didn't put it on the grass, right? So I think a little bit with him was the fact that he needed to do it. He knew he was a good football player. He knew he was big, strong, fast, right? But then when he does it on the grass, then it's like, okay, I can do it. And then now you're just seeing him continuously grow with the more reps and the more stuff he's able to put on film. So happy for Blaze.
Anything else for Coach White?
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.